straight ahead on the drift. We're at the Newport International Boat Show, diving into the latest drift tech that'll keep you locked in and riding smooth on the bay. Then, at the Helm with BoatUS, dialing in a simple move that separates the pros from the chaos when tying off. Mr. Yachts is in Florida, stepping aboard a sleek stunner in a Scandinavian design. And it's from the cast with why every crew needs a second captain ready to take the helm. And we drift above a spectacular sentinel, perched on a ledge and guiding mariners. It's all right around the bend on the drift, the social place for boaters.
Hello and welcome to The Drift. I'm your host, Sierra Goodwill.
John's headed to the Newport International Boat Show to scout the latest in drift tech. And what better way to drift in than aboard North Coast Boats' flagship, the 415 HT. He's catching up with our guy John Mendes from Full Keel Marine alongside the team at Northeast Stabilizers to see what's buzzing and what's changing the game on the water. Let's dive in.
So Full Keel Marine moving these incredible North Coast boats. What else you provide?
Yeah, so Full Keel started on service. Began in 2015. It's our 10th anniversary, and now we're coupled up with Yamaha as a partner as well. Full line dealer in Yamaha engines, outboards, installs. We got 2 locations for service, one in Wakefield, Rhode Island, one in North Kingstown, and we got one heck of a team behind us. 8 certified techs, 2 master techs, and our latest move has been into indoor boat storage. We've also carved out another nice little business for Seakeeper.
Let's talk about Seakeeper a little bit.
Yeah,
You've
absolutely.
got trained techs?
Trained techs, you bet, absolutely. Yep, so we also own and operate Northeast Stabilizers. That's out of our Exeter location. And, like aboard here on this 415, this has a Seakeeper 4. Seakeeper brought it to market. They've continued to lead the market. And let me tell you, when you get to experience one firsthand, It's incredible. So that right there that's a gyro sphere, enclosed, capsulated, and when running, that'll spin up about 8,500 RPMs. That's actuated by what we call the brake, and the brake is what moves the inertia of the product. There's no rock in the boat.
I couldn't rock that boat.
Can't rock that boat.
Come on, man.
You can't rock it.
I've been known to rock a few boats.
I bet you have. And we're just gonna be stable.
All right, let's go try to rock the boat.
Let's go check it. Yeah.
All right, you're telling me I can't rock this boat?
Yeah, you're rocking it right now.
Let's try
aren't
to
you,
rock
John?
this boat. Let's
There we
rock
go.
this boat. Ready? Zach, you're on the button?
I'm on the button.
I'm seasick already. All right, ready? Hit the button, Zach. Yeah, right? Yeah, that's engaged.
You can't rock that boat.
Crazy,
It's
right?
crazy, yeah.
And you guys are the Seakeeper experts. So you know exactly how all this works. Right?
Absolutely, ask away.
How does it work?
So inside this sphere, you have a flywheel that spins at about 10,000 RPM. And as that sphere processes forward and backwards, it throws out angular momentum longitudinally.
Angular momentum longitudinally.
Yeah,
Not
incredible.
to go
All
too
right.
advanced, but that's why we have a clear top on it, so that the customer or the user can come down and look at it and see how the unit actually performs.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and as you can see, we are on a demo boat, so you can see it in action, and you can see if we do try and rock the boat, she's going to start moving more.
All right, here we go. We're rocking. Hit the button, Zach. There it goes. Wow, locks right in. Totally stops.
Totally stops, yeah. And that's the Seakeeper 3.
So what kind of room do you need below for that unit? So this is, how big a boat is this?
It's a 35 Jefferson Mar-a-Lago.
Okay. So you find the space for it?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Does it come with this, or is this an aftermarket?
Most manufacturers now, OEMs, are building with Seakeeper options. That is very consistent now throughout most of the brands.
What does the display show?
Yeah, so that's showing you on that display. It's actually your whole control panel, but what you're seeing right now is your roll angle, okay? And that roll angle, as you can see, we're not going to get over 1 degree.
Because it's on.
Yep, because it's on.
So disengage it.
Yep.
So what we would do is, so we're disengaged now.
Yep. It takes about 30 seconds to fully unbrake.
All right, so now we can get it rocked. So here's our, so we're underway. We're in a pretty good chop.
Yeah.
right? And we're getting this. We say, hey, let's make this ride a little more comfortable.
Yep.
And then we hit the button, Zach. And then there it is.
And
We're still underway. We're in the shop.
Absolutely.
And we're rock solid.
And now you're rock
This
solid.
is phenomenal technology.
It's incredible.
And this has
It
been
really
around
is.
for a while, right?
Yeah, they've been about 18 years,
Yeah.
39,000 units to market. Strong OEM presence, but also the refit market, I think there's somewhere around 10,000 units that have been retrofitted on boats like this.
So I like the demo, right? I've got a nice 28-footer, let's say.
Yep.
I call John at full keel. What's the process?
That's it. Well, process is first thing, just feasibility. Got to get aboard, look at how we get it in there. Is there space? Are the stringers strong enough? And then that will bring you to what mounting type you're going to use. You can go to brackets, glue them in. You can insert aluminum stock right into the stringers, and then everything gets drilled and tapped, and they bolt right in.
Tell me one more time. Longitudinal.
Angular momentum that is thrown out longitudinally.
I was going to say that.
It's impressive, isn't it? And these guys are great. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun new venture. We're excited for it.
For more drift tech and the latest in marine technology, visit our YouTube channel at Drift Sociably.
And now you can get the drift anytime on our social platforms at Drift Sociably, on the web at driftsociably.com, and catch full episodes on our YouTube channel at Drift Sociably. Catch the drift in long form with the Drift Podcast, available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you catch your favorite podcast. Like, follow, share, subscribe, and drift sociably with the Drift, the social place for boaters.
Straight ahead on the drift. Think you know how to tie off to a cleat the right way, or just hoping it holds? We'll show you. Ahead on the drift, the social place for boaters.
The Drift is brought to you by BoatUS, Sociably, and Subaru of New England. At the Helm is brought to you by BoatUS. Better boating starts here.
Welcome back to the social place for boating, the Drift. Our friends from BoatUS are at the helm with more helpful tips and tricks. This time,
Mark Cork is here with the correct way to tie to a cleat, a boater basic.
Which horn of the cleat you use depends on the pull on the line. Start off by wrapping it around the horn furthest away from the pull on the line, around, over the top, begin the figure eight. After going around the cleat, I go around the horn a second time to complete the figure eight, and then I flip the line under itself and put it back over the horn. Tying by tugging on the working end, and note that the working end comes away from the cleat in the opposite direction from where it started. Finish off by coiling and laying the rope neatly alongside the cleat so it won't present a tripping hazard. So there you have it. Now I can be confident my boat isn't going to go anywhere and it will be safe until I come back next time.
better boating starts at BoatUS.com. Visit them for more helpful tips. Mega yachts, super yachts, sailing yachts, and motor yachts. I love them all, and so does our guy, Mr. Yachts, Nick Cardoza. So right here, right now, he's going to take us aboard another.
This Scandinavian design CL yacht is just amazing. Nick, take us aboard and show us what this spectacular 88-footer has to offer.
Now up on the flybridge, first of all, you'll have a look. You've got all the great amenities that a super yacht would want to have. You've got a grill, you've got place for people to hang out, the lounge chairs. When you get to the bar area, you'll see the second level where that really helps for serving drinks. You've got a table behind for 6. I mean, it's a great layout. And then down below, we'll head up to the foredeck where there's this really cool beach club vibe. You've got the 2 tables. This is what I like to call the bliss area. This is where you're hanging out on anchor. Now back on the aft deck, you'll see the pretty classic layout of a super yacht, but you've got this really great service bar here, which is great for drinks, and just a great look. Look at this thing, wow, right? Design means everything. They all build boats, and people generally want to have a boat that's less than 10 years old anyway. What's really important is the feeling on the boat, the vibe. You gotta have vibes. It's all about being contemporary, and to a certain extent you gotta follow the trend, right? Moving away from like the dark mahogany wood, classic yacht look. And we're getting more into this like Northern European, minimalistic, contemporary design, which is more about form follows function than not. So big seating group. These designers seem to have thought outside of the box. And when you do that, you come up with cool ideas. I love the interior decoration on this boat, up and down and throughout this boat. You've basically got 2 master cabins down below. Now you don't have 2 masters, but you've got the VIP and you've got like another VIP. Look at these cabins. I mean, I've seen a lot of cool stuff, but wait till you see the back. Look at this. Look at this. Whoa, it's like a spa, man. On an 88-footer. What else you need? Little steam unit in here. Steam. I love this. This is it.
What a fabulous floating mansion. For the full tour of this beauty, visit driftsociably.com.
Hey drifters, now there's a place where the drift is always on. Check out our YouTube page at Drift Sociably. Find full episodes and your favorite drift features. That's Drift Sociably on YouTube, the social place for boaters. And be sure to drop anchor on that subscribe button for us. Get the drift?
Straight ahead on the drift. Is there a second captain on your boat? We'll tell you why it makes sense. And we drift above a spectacular sentinel standing strong against the elements for over a century. All that and more, right here on the drift, the social place for boaters.
BoatUS has been looking after the interests of recreational boaters for over 55 years. Our goal? To make boating better, safer, and worry-free. From coast to coast and over 600 towboats strong, the BoatUS fleet is the nation's largest. So when you need help on the water, you're not alone. For a day of worry-free boating, take us with you by downloading the BoatUS app to get a tow or check weather and tides. Better boating starts here. Join today.
And now you can get the drift anytime on our social platforms at Drift Sociably, on the web at driftsociably.com, and catch full episodes on our YouTube channel at Drift Sociably. Catch the drift in long form with the Drift Podcast, available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you catch your favorite podcast. Like, follow, share, subscribe, and drift sociably with the Drift, the social place for boaters.
And now it's time for From the Cast, a bit of information from one of the industry's fastest growing boating podcasts, the Drift Podcast.
All right, with us again is our man Ted from the BoatUS Foundation. Ted, thanks for being with us again. You know, Ted, I'm the captain of my ship, right? I know how it operates. I know what it takes to get that thing off the dock. I know where I'm going and how to get back. But what if something happens to me? What do you do then?
A great question, right? Assuming you're with other people, there are some passengers on board that hopefully knows what to do should you become incapacitated.
Now, know what to do. That would be like, at a very basic level, that would be bring a boat to a stop, right? And notify some help.
Sure, there's so many things that could be going on simultaneously if the captain goes down for whatever reason. Maybe the captain went overboard. So I think that would be a good first step. Better yet, does someone else aboard know how to turn that boat around and operate it in a way that we can go and return to the person who went overboard without further injuring that person? Can you do it safely? Then perhaps you need to place an emergency call. If that person was injured or suffering a medical emergency, does someone else aboard the boat know how to make an emergency call using either the VHF radio or an EPIRB that's aboard or a cell phone? Who are you going to call? And I guess a third point would be, if you don't know how to operate the boat, does someone else know how to deploy an anchor so you're not adrift aimlessly in that body of water?
So nobody wants to, look, you're going out for the day. You've got a group of friends aboard, and you don't want to go through a safety checklist. You can, you can have that checklist and read it to everybody on board, and officially that's probably what you should do. But look, who does that, right? And you don't want to do the thing like, in case of an emergency, to the flight attendant thing, right? Where you put but you should maybe bring a friend aside or have your wife or significant other and say, look, if something was to happen, here's what you need to do. Like, call for help or bring the boat to a stop or try to do what you can do to get assistance in the event that happens. But there's always like that fine line, right? Nobody wants, you got your sandals on, you've got your cooler, you're heading out for a great day on the beach. You don't want to have a Brigadoon moment there, So there's got to be a good balance there, I think.
Or you may just have to say, hey, who knows how to operate this thing if I go missing? And see what the response is. And you can make it a bit lighthearted and say, well, here's the wheel. It steers a little bit like a car. Here's the throttle. It has no brakes.
Perfect.
and just help those aboard feel comfortable that maybe there's a what if, possibly, probably not. But if the need were to arise, here's how you get things done.
Yeah. I joke about being the captain of my boat, but I couldn't dock a boat without my wife. I can tell you that much. You need somebody at the helm. You need somebody who, and we've all been there, right? You've got the couple on the boat who's unfamiliar with boating, and you're trying to come in. You might be a little bit of a blow going on, and you're trying to get to the dock, and you say, get that port bow line, and you get the blank stare. It's almost that, well, just step aside moment. We'll do this. But my wife is certainly my first mate, and she knows how to operate the boat and know what lines go where. You should have a second person on that boat if you're going out with a group who knows a little something about boating, right?
Right. We offer a course on our courses webpage at BoatUS.org, Crew at the Helm. And that course is designed specifically to help a new boater or a boater that's been pretty much just a passenger and crew their career, to learn a little bit more about boat operation. What should you know? Can you be a partner in command if the captain falls ill? We keep talking about what happens if the captain is incapacitated. It doesn't happen often, right? But just like it in an airplane, if the pilot were to fall ill, how are we going to land this thing? And a boat is similar, although maybe not as dramatic. If how are we going to get this boat back? How are we going to get everyone back aboard and back to the dock safely?
Thanks, Ted. We'll see you again.
Okay, bye-bye.
The Drift Podcast can be found at driftsociably.com or where all fine podcasts are heard.
Now there's a place where the drift is always on. Check out our YouTube page at Drift Sociably. Find full episodes and your favorite drift features. That's Drift Sociably on YouTube, the social place for boaters. Get the drift?
Coming up, it's been standing strong against the elements for over a century, and it's ahead on the drift.
Drift Above is brought to you by Subaru of New England.
And now it's time for amazing views of the lakes, waterways, oceans, wildlife, and seashores that we so enjoy, captured by our amazing drone pilots.
From high above the rugged coastline of Casco Bay, we're drifting above one of New England's most iconic sentinels of the sea, the legendary Ram Island Ledge Lighthouse. Perched defiantly on a narrow stretch of rock just offshore from Cape Elizabeth, this lighthouse has been guiding mariners safely through these waters since 1905. Boaters heading into Portland Harbor know this landmark well. It's not just a lighthouse, it's a warning, a marker, a protector. And from the drift above perspective, you see what charts can't fully capture. The movement, the current, the way the Atlantic breathes around this structure. And how about that classic New England look? The white tower, standing strong against the elements for over a century. You can almost picture the keepers who once called this rock home, isolated, surrounded by water, keeping that light burning through fog, wind, and winter storms. Today, it's automated, but the mission hasn't changed. Guide, warn, protect. And from up here, you get a whole new appreciation for the role it still plays in the rhythm of the sea.
Drift above more of our amazing coast at driftsociably.com and at driftsociably on social media. Thanks for joining us, drifters. We'll catch you again right here next time, and maybe out on the water. It's the social place for boating, The Drift. For more like this, like, follow, share, and subscribe to The Drift at Drift Sociably, or visit us at driftsociably.com. For all of us here at The Drift, I'm Sierra Goodwill. Drift Sociably. Get the drift?
The Drift is brought to you by BoatUS, Sociably, and Subaru of New England.